Namaste. My name is Giridhar Mamidi. I'm a chartered accountant and an analyst. I come on several TV channels and I write a lot of articles, and I've been trying my best to try and be an activist to help Bharat gain its glory in my own small little way. Friends, the unprecedented forced shutdown of the economy in the face of the Chinese Wuhan coronavirus has resulted in major disruptions to the economy, lifestyles, supply chains, and social order at large. The government of Bharat's response was quick, decisive, and clear. It is one of the first countries to announce a nationwide lockdown and stoppage of all forms of travel, including international travel. The delay in taking similar actions by many Western governments has resulted in heavy loss of lives, in addition to unprecedented disruption to their economies. The government of Bharat responded to this crisis by announcing several measures, like initially announcing about 1,70,000 crores, which was made available to reduce the distress resulting from the lockdown. In the subsequent weeks, this was followed by additional stimulus packages, in all totaling to about 20 lakh crores. This was followed up with some policy changes like increasing the investment and turnover thresholds for categorization of MSME enterprises. Some compliance related matters were postponed. Some aspects of criminal prosecution of economic losses were also diluted. Insolvency and bankruptcy code was also amended to factor in the government imposed lockdown impacts. The government tried to provide liquidity in the market and address the supply side to help the economy. Various sections of economy were considered for granting some economic relief or other. However, it has been observed that several ground level challenges, including implementation issues, were not factored in those announcements. A clear sign of lack of information flow from the ground level through the corridors of bureaucracy is visible. Forces inimical to the growth of Bharat, which have ulterior motives in seeing the economy of Bharat and the government under the leadership of Shri Narendra Modi ji fail, have started their vicious campaign of disinformation, misinformation, subterfuge, panic mongering, and general feasting on the unprecedented pain in the economy. Recently, there have been some recommendations which were dangerous and outlandish, like nationalizing private wealth, etc. These are meant to disrupt the whole economic progress of this nation. With this background, a few professionals, some of us came together and we created a group called Arth Yagna. In the light of all this above, what we did is, some concerned economists, academicians and professionals came together for brainstorming on most of these aspects. At the end of our study, review, deliberations and collective thinking, we produced a series of documents suggesting and recommending to the government and its agencies on matters that the group felt the need for the government intervention. We have focused on gaps and slippages in the well-intended government interventions and also suggested actions that are yet to be taken up by the government. This group intends to present certain recommendations not just to government machinery but also to important political leaders in the country. The idea of doing this is not to criticize or embarrass the government with any ulterior motives, but to help the government to appropriate course correction in their strategies and policies, and to fill the gaps in their reading and understanding that they may have inadvertently overlooked. At the initial stage, we focused on three aspects. The first one being addressing the gaps in distress support. The second being demand side challenges which probably were not properly addressed. And the third one, policy level corrections which have to be seriously looked at given the opportunities that are available in these challenging times. The group hopes to add a few more experts who have interests of the nation as their primary objective. This group intends to continue being a nationalistic barometer to support, alert, recommend and add to the effectiveness of the government. We have written a letter to the Prime Minister of Bharat our Honorable Dr. Shri Narendra Modi ji. This letter says something like this. The pandemic has reduced every nation to its lowest common denominator. Only those nations which can muster the courage, foresight, and vision to make substantive changes will emerge as the new centers of global power. We are convinced that your inspiring leadership, coupled with imaginative and path-breaking new policies, will give Bharat a very strong competitive edge like never before. The present situation, painful as it is, conceals unprecedented opportunities within existential threats. If we can identify these and take the necessary resolute and timely action, Bharat can recover its glory of centuries past. Our future is to be a global superpower. This is the spirit of passion with which we write this letter. We are a group of professionals, including advocates, scientists, engineers, economists, chartered accountants, management practitioners, and entrepreneurs. But over and above our occupational experience and professional expertise, we are all deeply committed to the growth, success, and greatness of Bharat. We have no vested interest other than the strength and wealth of Bharat. This is our only ideology. We have spent over 100 man hours in deep discussion and collaboration, imbued with a burning desire to make Bharat great again. It is noteworthy that our thinking is from the bottom up, since we believe Bharat's power arises from its grassroots village culture. We present to you, sir, with earnestness, a list of ideas and suggestions. Extraordinary times call for extraordinary decisions. That is what we are suggesting. The fruit of our deliberations is attached herewith for your perusal. We hope you can study them and engage us in a dialogue if required. With warm regards, Team Arth Yagna.